Hello everyone, Storm 101 here. Today we'll be taking a look into my final summer 2020 forecast here. We'll be going over my forecast, the temperatures, precipitation, and the overall forecast. I do have a model to show you guys. That's the Jamstack. Now, first of all, if you do hear a fan run in the background, my apologies. It is hot up here at the time of recording this video. Another thing is, some people, you guys might think this is over, uh, overdue. Not really. It's not really overdue. Uh, Summer actually starts on June 20th, which is 8 days from now, the time I'm making this video. In meteorology terms, it started back at June 1st. So now, usually we'll follow the space type of things there, the solar system and stuff like that, space. Timing of the seasons and stuff like that. That's what usually everybody will follow. But as weather nerds, we usually will follow the meteorology terms. But anyways, let's go ahead and get started with my forecast here. So we're gonna start off with the temperatures here, and for some very noticeable changes here from the last one, which the last one was like a month ago. Um, Especially across the Dixie Alley, there's actually kind of a punch into the warmth here. Of You can see here to get your yellows, you're slightly above average. These orange colors is your above average. Blue is slightly below average. With no color, there's equal chances or average. Equal chances mean you could either there's gonna be times where you could get some above average temperatures. Sometimes you'll get below average temperatures. It's that type of thing. And um, and there's going to be a couple times where we're going to have some a cutoff low kind of in this general area in here. And what that could do, it could really change up the weather. It can make the west and the east very warm, even across the north. It kind of, if you guys do not know what a cutoff low is, it's a low pressure system that's cut off for the jet stream, and it just sits there. So there's chances where we could see a cutoff low here, and it could sit there for days. Speaking of cutoff lows, there's going to be a cutoff low in the Appalachian Mountains, and for what that cutoff low is going to do, it's going to make whoever's east of that low going to be very wet, possibly some flooding issues, but really everybody else, almost the entire country, is going to be very warm and very dry. So it can change the weather quite a bit across the country. But I think most of the cooler temperatures should be staying across the northern plains, where you're going to have multiple waves of troughs, systems, all that stuff there, in which your precipitation is really going to tell the story here. So across the northwest, that's slightly above average. That's what SBA means. Uh, Again, EC means equal chances. There's going to be a very dry area across the four corner states here, where we're going to have a very stubborn high pressure system nearby, in which that's just going to make everybody dry. Uh, Whoever's going to be inside the high pressure system into the east. Your guys are not going to see a lot of rain at all, because there's going to be a very stubborn ridge that's going to be setting up here across the desert southwest, and really west of the high. You guys probably get lucky enough, but it'll be very warm there. And across the northern plains, it'll be slightly above average, going across eastern Montana into the Dakotas. And this area in here, and this is mainly for the tropics. Now, I've recently seen a tweet on Twitter. Uh, Someone was talking about, I kind of forgot what it was, but there's an indication that the tropics probably won't be that active uh, for a decent chunk of the summer. So that'll be something we're going to watch for there. And that is something we have to really be careful about. If the tropics are not going to be active, the the precipitation forecast could completely change. The same thing for the temperatures. You know, if there's not going to be any tropics during the summer, if we're going to see the stubborn ridge take over the entire United States, really across the south here could be very dry. But at this time, we can still see a couple or a few tropical systems that could go into these regions in here. And you guys know that tropical systems can have tons of moisture with it, so it can produce a lot of rainfall and all that stuff. And across the northeast here, we're not really going to see any systems going to be coming by in those regions there, especially if we're going to have like a cutoff low type of situation. In this region in here, it's just going to make everyone warmer and dry, basically creating a ridge across the northeastern United States. So that's why you guys are going to be pretty much mostly below normal for precipitation. If you guys do hear the mowers in the background, I do apologize for that. But let's go from west to east here. So the northwest, it's going to be wet and warm overall. You're going to have a few systems that be coming by. Systems are going to be ridging across these regions in here. They're going to go move northeast, and they're going to be coming back down like this here. If you guys haven't seen the first one, I've been talking about that, how the jet stream's going to be going. And if I have tropical tidbits, I would really give you guys a good example of what I'm talking about. But like what we're having right now, in these similar regions here, there's going to be some wildfire danger throughout the summer here across places like Nevada, Utah, portions of California, Arizona, and even to New Mexico. You guys got to keep an eye on for the possibility for some wildfire danger. And in that orange zone, it's mainly going to be hot. For some of those places, will be also be dry as well. Places like Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, where you're going to be on the eastern, kind of the eastern edge of the ridge, and it's mainly going to be dry for those regions. This white area here, that's just average your typical summer, which includes western Montana into northeastern Wyoming, and this pretty much this brownish area, that's just going to be dry conditions. It's going to be drier than normal. However, for temperatures, it could be near normal. It could also be could be a little bit warmer. That's definitely possible. Kind of again, average your typical summer. Now, this is where I believe where most of the severe weather will be sticking around throughout almost the entire summer. Really across eastern Montana, the Dakotas, into Minnesota there. Now, if we go ahead and move on to this large blue area, like I said before, those cutoff lows, like the one we're going to see in the Appalachian Mountains, it's going to make everyone warm and dry. And I think we're going to see more of these cutoff lows type of situations. And the models definitely show that, in which I'll show you guys that in a moment. But when we're not going to have these cutoff lows, we're going to start to see a northwest flow come in. With this northwest flow, it's going to be something like this here. You have a ridge here, and your jet stream is going to be something like this here. And typically, when you have northwest flows, there's a decent chances of severe weather. You can have a couple episodes of severe weather for some of these areas, especially in the blue area. So there will be severe weather at times, but with the cutoff flow situation in the tropics, it probably will prevent that to happen. It will make you guys warm and dry, but when the northwest flow kind of comes through, it'll still be warm. However, the precipitation will change. So that's why we're going to call this a flip-flop pattern type of thing there. In this dark green area, it's going to be stormy due to the tropics, and there will also be severe weather times, especially across the north. And what I mean north, that'd be like Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, even West Virginia there as well. So it's gonna be pretty stormy in those areas in there, especially when you're gonna have a cutoff low. This dark purple here, tropical systems, and with those tropical systems, it'll be pretty wet. There we can see a couple or a few tropical systems. Pretty much common sense there. In this, again, it's going to be another hot region, a very a lot of warmth will be going on in these regions. Now, some severe weather will probably be able to sneak into some of these areas like West Virginia, Ohio, Indiana, even Pennsylvania. So that's something we're going to definitely watch for. In the last, but not least, the Northeast here, it is a brown area. It's going to be hot and dry. So pretty straightforward on that. I forgot to add the title on top of the screen, but it's okay. But that's my forecast there. Let's move on to the Jamstack model. Now, I wish I could show you guys Tropical Tippets, but it doesn't work on this PC, so that's very unfortunate. But at least we still have a couple models to look into. But the main story, it's looking to be a La Nina this year. And when you have La Ninas during hurricane season, usually hurricane season will be active in the Atlantic. So that's something we're definitely have to watch for, uh, especially for hurricane season. And keep in mind, hurricane season does last for 6 months, pretty much a half of the year. So hurricane season could go a long ways away, and it definitely could change a lot for sure. But this is surface area temperatures, putting all models together, F1, F2, if you guys know what I mean there. Um, really showing probably a weak La Nina. This is the F1 model. I think this is a little bit accurate model here. This is surface air temperatures. Here you can see here it's going to be cooler, and you can look at the United States here. As you can see here, even Alaska is looking to be cooler than normal. All the warmth is really staying across the west here. And with the tropics, it's really going to be average in these regions in here across the southeastern United States, maybe even extending to the Southern Plains. And those are the areas we're going to really watch for. But let's go back to sea surface temperature anomalies. Pretty similar though, but you can see there it does indicate a La Nina can form. Here's the F2 model here. It has more of a neutral phase. You got warmer than normal waters on the eastern side of the Enso, and on the central western side of the Enso, it's looking to be cooler than normal. But technically, that is a neutral phase. And look into this other one here. It's looking to be more neutral, but it could be turning into a La Nina. So models do indicate that it could be a La Nina coming in for the summer. Now let's look into precipitation. Now this is when I start to disagree on things here. You can see here it's pretty ridiculously wet across around Puerto Rico, Cuba, even Central America. For those regions, it could be ridiculously wet. However, look at the southeastern United States, it's looking very dry. I highly disagree with this here. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do agree kind of around that region in there. And this model here does show a very similar situation there, but F1 it's a little bit different. It's shown to be very dry across Florida. It could be the Bermuda High trying to take over everybody. If that's the case, that could really change up the forecast for the hurricane season and for the summer. But I highly doubt that. You can see sea surface temperatures, it's not really showing much of any warmth in the region, but surface air temperatures, there's not really Bermuda high, so I don't really know what's going on here. There could be, it might be indicating some wind shear in the area, maybe some dry air. That's probably what it is. Could be some dry air, trying to get involved with it. Oh, wait a minute. We've been looking into the fall. My bad. At least you guys get an early look into the fall here. Whoops. Stuff like that can happen. But, so this is sea surface temperatures. Again, it's indicating a La Nina. F2, kind of neutral phase. So it's kind of similar to what fall has it. Let's look at the precipitation. Now, this is much better. Now, this is much better. You can see here showing wetter than normal conditions across the southeastern United States, the Southern Plains, even into the upper Midwest there. You can see surface air temperatures actually it's getting a little bit cooler, which indicates for the possibility for multiple systems in the area. Say for F2 model, Precipitation is similar, however, it is a little drier across the upper Midwest. I don't know if I'll agree with that or not. There's your sea surface temperatures is definitely looking warm. And kind of back to the F1 model, it's looking warm. Now surface air temperatures, the lining is there. However, we're not really seeing that average temperatures across the southeastern United States like the other models were showing. Here's the precipitation. Now, I really did disagree. I think it's underdoing it here. And this is your sea surface temperatures again there. And really, I disagree with the F1 model, but I do agree with the F2 3D VAR. And this model here doesn't work, so. But anyways, guys, this is all I got for you guys today. Hope you guys enjoyed this, my final summer 2020 forecast. If you guys have liked this forecast, hit the like button. If you really do like my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, notifications so you never miss an upload. If you guys have questions about this, you can put in the comment section down below. I will answer you guys' questions. I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.